So you've been waiting for Silverwolf since release like I have, and you finally have her. Congratulations! Before you get back to hacking the universe, I have some information for you to help you make the most of your time with Silverwolf in Honkai Star Rail. Silverwolf is a quantum-type Path of Nihility unit released with the first banner of the 1.1 patch. Let's go over her abilities first so you can have a good understanding of what exactly she does for your team. Her talent, Awaiting System Response, gives Silverwolf a chance based on trace level to implant one of 3 bugs whenever she attacks an enemy, which can debuff attack, defense, or speed. The bug lasts for 3 turns once implanted. Her basic attack deals quantum damage equal to a percentage of her attack stat based on trace level, like most other characters, while also having the chance to implant a bug from her talent. Her skill and easily the most complicated ability in her kit, Allow Changes, has a chance based on trace level to give the target a random weakness from the types of your team members and reduces their damage resistance to that type by 20% for 2 turns. The damage resistance reduction does not take place in the event that a weakness cannot be implanted on an enemy. For example, if you have lightning and quantum type characters and the target has both lightning and quantum weaknesses already. On top of this, there is a guaranteed chance to reduce the target's all type resistance by a percentage based on trace level for 2 turns. It also deals quantum damage equal to a percent based on trace level. One really nice aspect of this ability is its ability to instantly weakness break a lot of enemies if she implants a quantum weakness on the target. This is Silverwolf's bread and butter, and in my opinion, one of the most versatile and useful abilities in the entire game. Her ultimate, User Banned, has a chance based on trace level to decrease the target enemy's defense by a percentage based on trace level for 3 turns. It also deals quantum damage equal to a percentage based on trace level. If you build Silverwolf right, you'll be using her ultimate a lot. Her technique, Force Quit Program, deals damage equal to 80% of her attack to all enemies and ignores weakness types, causing toughness damage to all enemies. Enemies that get weakness broken from this will always get the quantum weakness break effect, even if they do not have a quantum weakness. This technique is incredibly useful to help you set up for a fight and get some good damage off on most enemies at the start of a fight. This is my go-to opening technique once I've used other buffing techniques from other characters. Overall, I think her kit is incredibly good at base, and even if I'm not running a mono or dual type team, she has a lot of utility that lets her and your other characters succeed in doing big damage and creating openings for your heavy hitters. I personally would say she's about an 8 out of 10 for an average team, but if you have Sela, who already gets defense reduction to enemies with quantum weakness, Silverwolf immediately becomes a 10 out of 10. At the same time, she turns into the most important support character on your team, allowing Sela to do more damage to enemies that don't have quantum weaknesses that she generally would struggle with. I think any Hunt or Erudition unit massively benefits from Silverwolf's presence, even outside of the ability to grant weakness. Being able to drop speed, defense, and attack at random is very gambly, which fits the theme of the character, but can also be really useful if you get the right bug implanted at the right time. In the short time I've had Silverwolf, she's made a massive impact on my team and is an immediate lock for when I need to have a flexible option for the dual team setups in the Forgotten Memory and Memory of Chaos. Let's take a look at her traces now. Generate extends the duration of bugs implanted by Silverwolf by 1 turn, and every time Silverwolf weakness breaks an enemy, there is a 65% chance of implanting a random bug in the enemy. Silverwolf hands out debuffs left and right already, so this trace just turns that up to 11, considering her technique has a decent chance to weakness break enemies at the start of a fight. Inject increases the duration of the weakness implants from her skill by 1 turn. It's a small change, but still very useful. People underestimate how long 1 turn is, especially when Sela exists. Her last trace ability, Side Note, reduces the all-type resistance by an additional 3% if there are 3 or more debuffs affecting the target when her skill is used. 3% doesn't seem like a lot, but it could be the difference between winning a close fight and having to redo that same close fight. Moving on from her trace abilities, let's take a look at her Eidolons. E1 is Social Engineering. This Eidolon gives Silverwolf 7 energy for every debuff the enemy has. This effect can stack up to 5 times each time she uses her ultimate for a total potential gain of 35 energy. E2, Zombie Network, reduces an enemy's effect resistance by 20% when they enter battle. E3, Payload, adds 2 levels to both skill and talent up to a maximum of 15. E4, Bounce Attack, deals an extra 20% of Silverwolf's attack for every debuff on the target. This effect can stack up to 5 times for a total potential damage boost of 100% of Silverwolf's attack stat. E5, Brute Force Attack, levels up her ultimate by 2 to a maximum of 15, and her basic attack by 1 to a maximum of 10. E6, Overlay Network, increases Silverwolf's damage dealt to the target by 20% for every debuff the target has up to a limit of 100%. If you have Eidolon 6 Silverwolf, you're going to be dealing a lot of damage. if you can debuff enemies enough. The Eidolons don't specify what type of debuff, so if you can get a couple debuffing units, Silverwolf's potential damage using her ultimate can be really high, but I'm not sure if the outcome of that is necessarily worth all of the work you would put in to maximizing her damage output as a support character. Her damage already is pretty good at E0, so I wouldn't worry about trying to get her Eidolons unless you really want to run her as a main DPS for some reason, and in that event, you have better options for much less work that benefit from using Silverwolf's E0 kit. In terms of relic sets, right now I would go for the Musketeer of Wild Wheat set, since that grants both an attack increase and speed increase. If you're using both Seela and Silverwolf, you're going to be chewing through skill points, so having Silverwolf be the fastest unit on the field means you can generate a lot of skill points, replacing the skill points used for her and Seela's skills. In terms of planar ornaments, I would go for the Pan-Galactic Commercial Enterprise set, given that it both increases your effect hit rate and gives you an attack bonus based on your effect hit rate. With this set, I would definitely focus on effect hit rate first, crit rate / damage second, speed third, and attack last for substats. I know trying to get the perfect relics is an absolute pain, but I think it's worth it to farm out good pieces of gear for Silverwolf, since she's a good enough character to warrant the work you put into the relics. I don't have optimal sets yet, but you can bet I'll be using all of my Trailblaze power to try and get better sets for the next few weeks. For main stats on relics, I would prioritize speed on your boots, energy regeneration on your link rope, quantum damage on your planar ornament, and effect hit rate on your chest piece. As for light cones, I would recommend either her 5-star light cone Incessant Rain that was released along with her banner, or the 4-star light cone before the tutorial mission starts that you can get from the Silverwolf event and companion mission that is currently ongoing. I mentioned it a little before, but I personally would use Silverwolf in every team I can. But optimally, I would go for either a mono-type team with Silverwolf and 3 units of the same type, something like Serval, Bailu, and Tingyun. Alternatively, you can go with a dual-type team with Silverwolf and a quantum character like Seela or Qingxue, and 2 units of a separate type. Physical, ice, fire, lightning, whatever works for you. A team that I'll probably run in the future is Silverwolf, Seela, Sushang, and Natasha. 2 DPS of the type weaknesses that Silverwolf can create, and a healer that can sustain your team and make sure no one dies too early into a fight. Realistically, just use whatever fits best with you, since Silverwolf is one of the most versatile plug-and-play characters that can fit with most team compositions, given her strong ability to debuff enemies. I think that will do it for me today, though. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like on the video, as it shows me that you want to see more content like this from me in the future. My name is KaylieTheLazy. Take care, everyone.